Channel 9 has defended a racy promo for the upcoming series of its sexually charged dating show Love Island Australia that was caught using paid actors instead of any of the show's actual stars. The show, which is set to debut on 9 Go and 9 Now next month, will be hosted by ex-Bachelorette Sophie Monk. In the promo, Monk is seen piloting a plane full of swimsuit-clad models who are heading for 6 steamy weeks in a Spanish villa. However, 9 has defended the use of the models over actual contestants. The promo does not feature the actual cast of Love Island, their models and actors, but they are indicative of how good-looking the cast of the series will be, it said in a statement to media. In 9's defense, the whole premise of the show, which has been described as Bachelor in Paradise meets Big Brother, is for the contestants to meet for the first time on the Spanish island of Majorca. Hence, it would be difficult to show them together prior to the show's debut. Meanwhile, according to a report on the Daily Telegraph, the raunchy love-ins had no problems attracting would-be contestants, with some 7,000 fit young things applying in the hope of becoming 80-grade reality TV star. That said, the figures can't match the 10,000 that applied for this year's season of Married at First Sight or the whopping 15,000 that applied for 10's Australian Survivor in 2016. Sign in with LinkedIn Channel 9 Love Island Australia Sophie Monk. Discover what makes the Ottawa Empire's Josephine tick right here. Not to suggest she's swallowed a large clock, however. Changing the ratio. Early bird tickets finish midnight tonight. And with the money you save you could buy an actual bird. Studio 10 unveils new on-air recruits after sudden departures. Not that anyone with a job would know what Studio 10 is. In any pitch there's always a winner. But in this instance, the winners become the loser, if that makes sense. Snapchat to roll out 6-second unskippable ads. What, we can't sit through 6 seconds? What have we become as humans? Who hasn't wanted to punch a colleague or industry rival fair square in the chops? Well, why not do it for a good cause? Are former lovers or known enemies in possession of unsolicited photographs of your nipples? Good news here, boob fans. News announces plans for a garage sale with regional titles, Adelaide Rams jersey. Jeff Bezos set to use his trillions to fight world hunger and cure cancer. Yeah? B. Confused about the AFL's latest player scandal? Well, let trusty Coachy be your guiding hand through all the murk. Truly Beards and Steph Body Odor the first to go after Mullen Lau Group snares personal care client. It's a testament to the Cadbury brand that, booze aside, it's one of the first things stolen from the bee. Nothing says a chilly winter quite like gas and the subsequent whopping gas bill, does it? Facebook has unveiled a massive advertising spree that attempts to dissuade people it is in fact the devil incarnate. Dave Barham has pulled on the pads, positioned the box and adjusted the helmet as Seven's new head of cricket. Cloud accounting software provider Xero has revealed the next phase of its Beautiful Business brand campaign. The national campaign showcases the moments that define beautiful business, from the flexibility of remote working, to reclaiming valuable time and the chance to focus on the important things in life, enabled by streamlined accounting and business processes. If you learned just one thing from the B. Women talking hot flushes, strange nipple locations and the inability to get dates. This could not feel more familiar. Community spirit, evil board members in an Aussie radio station, what more could you want from a story? Not wanting to be outdone by its social media rival, Twitter has also brought good tidings to its shareholders. Looking to criticize Anzac Day and the lack of free speech in Australia? Perhaps don't use Twitter to do so. Speaking of contagious, an office-wide illness has hit B. Our sick intern has promised it's only food poisoning. Do you love getting stuck into a box of shapes during your working day? Become more fond of them by reading this. Get the paper plates ready and turn the kettle on, there's a new face in town at Think TV. Coincidentally, the B. Meltwater has bought a social media company that B. Consider this B. Unless we remind you again tomorrow. We advise you to treat this story as a very valuable lesson to attend B. Leo's new recruits have done well to contain their excitement over joining the agency in the accompanying press photo. Can boss Terry Savage is set to join TMA as B. This guest blogger has placed the target firmly on CommBank, and kindly provided a hot tip for Westpac CMO too. Finding it hard to convince your colleagues about the power of music and ads? Beef up your argument with this. QUT Creative Enterprise Australia (C) has announced the 10 startups that have been accepted in its Collider Accelerator. The 3-month accelerator is a proud Australian first which is carving the way for startups specializing across the creative tech verticals. Commencing this week, the 10 participating companies will receive coaching from international mentors and deep domain, expert insights on what's trending in the world of technology. Data and innovation will be discussed in a new podcast powered by The Works, digital services consultancy RXP Services, and global law firm Norton Rose Fulbright. The Smart Dust podcast, named after micro-electromechanical computers that can be breathed in to monitor the human, cold chisels, IDA, could be heard from 10's HQ yesterday morning as it paid tribute to the departing media doyen. Love It's Media has purchased Nourish magazine from Blitz Publications in a last-minute deal that has ensured the title continues to be published in Australia. Rachel Northey, CEO of Love It's Media, believes the demand for high-quality niche magazines is growing rather than declining. Building on the successful 2017 launches of their popular mindfulness titles Breathe, Teen, Be. Atomic 212 Degrees unveils possible award-winning new campaign for Origin Energy. Well, we'll let you be the judge of that. Sandilands has slammed Rove's Show Me the Movie, and, as pains as we are to admit, Be. If you liken the ACCC's investigation into Facebook to one big hornet's nest, well, see this as the prodding stick. If you've come here looking for Elaine Herlihy's famed scone recipe, then it'll be the only disappointment you'll endure. James Keeler reportedly went a shade of crimson red after being promoted to White Gray's top dog strategy role. Independent PR agency Thrive PR Communications has announced the launch of its 5th office, opening its doors permanently on the Gold Coast and making multiple team appointments. In response to client demand, and embracing the growth of Australia's emerging innovation hotspot, the Gold Coast will be Thrive's second Queensland location following the opening of it. Looking for a campaign that'll make you misty-eyed for the good old days? Well, this definitely isn't it. It was like Mum's trifle on TV last night, a bit of custard from 7, jelly from 9. Advertising, in its essence, is about reaching the largest number of people, in the most seamless, creative way. However, reaching a large audience can often be the biggest hurdle, so how does a crowd of a few 100 million users sound? Weibo, China's answer to Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram and every other app combined, has hit, when it comes to a thorough review. When we need an energy hit on a tight deadline at B. Has the age of disruption left you fearful? Well, you'll be singing Helen Reddy's I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar after this. Women to Love kind of sounds like a tedious Jennifer Aniston rom-com. Yet, a deeper truth awaits readers of this. The advantages of being ugly are endless: no tiresome dating, ability to scare small children. But spare us the tears, we say. Okay, cry if you want. It's the 7 sins of the digital world that, thankfully, doesn't include coveting thy neighbor's goat, or anything. Want to make your PR agency more accountable without anonymously posting them some dog's business? This is a must-read. Designed for widespread use across festivals, events, bars, nightclubs and other venues where patrons are already accustomed to using wristbands, the SipSafe wristband is equal parts a utility. Brand events agency INVNT has announced it has expanded its operations to the Asia-Pacific region with a new office in Sydney. Originally founded in New York in 2008 by Scott Collether and Christina McCubery, INVNT creates and produces brand engagements for every audience segment, including employees, customers, partners, investors, the media, and consumers. Collether said, Fairfax as Sean Aylmer pops up at Race Publica. As in he's been recruited, not that his head came up through a pot plant. The copyright agency is inviting Australian artists and their heirs to nominate about where their works have been published or used on TV to receive payment for their copyright-protected work as part of a month-long campaign. The copyright agency, which recently merged with Viscopy, is Australia's national copyright licensing organisation for the publishing, media, surveying. Our weekly trips to Gamblers Anonymous meetings is testament to B. More proof that love conquers hate comes news of a Queenslander promoting NSW. Yeah, doesn't prove squat, really. It's a Sydney comedy festival like no other this year, with festival goers offered a new way of getting to and from shows without having to get out of bed. Festival partner Travelodge Hotels has developed a novel mode of transport, the Ubed, which is picking up festival goers in central Sydney and deliver them to the. This staff performance article sadly makes no mention of two of B. Much like fingernails down a blackboard, this story has the feel of sandpaper across your six-stitcher. Australian sport's most famous derriere could soon be making its way onto primetime television, according to reports. You gotta hand it to Clem's Melbourne's Graham campaign, it is the gift that keeps on giving and giving on giving. Adland's not all full of neurotic egotists with anxiety issues, as B. There's often a fine line between utter stupidity It appears MKR has introduced a bit of UFC into its programming. Now if there was ever an idea for a show, that's it. Contenders for the WPP CEO role are lining up amid reports Sir Martin's already getting on poor Mrs. Sorrell's nerves. 7 confirms the return of the Dr. Blake mysteries sans Dr. Blake himself, which is a mystery in itself. If you needed any more proof we've hit peak D-grade celebrities flogging their own cookbooks, comes this intriguing tale. Does the word manifesto make you think of Stalinist Russia? Well, thankfully this comes without any trip to the gulag. Fear your job will be replaced by an algorithm anytime soon? Well, this can only add to your sleepless nights. Despite not actually watching any TV last night, APN says, if the shoe fits, wear it, as 10's Neil Shoebridge joins the comms team. Digital retail out-of-home media business Shopper Media Group has announced the appointment of Emily Sack to the newly created position of Head of Data and Insights. The new role forms part of Shopper Media Group's expansion plan to keep up with the accelerated growth that has seen its portfolio surpass more than 220 shopping centers. Customer experience agency CX Lavender has announced the appointment of Michael Rummery to the role of Business Development Director for Melbourne. Rummery, pictured above, was previously Account Director of Client Services at global marketing and digital recruitment firm Aquent, and has held roles at a number of talent agents and recruitment firms with a focus. If you think is everyone talking general data protection regulation around the office to your bachelor in paradise? Here, read this. The New York Times Company has announced the appointment of media representation agency Wethink Media to represent its advertising business in Australia. Wethink Media will be responsible for all advertising in the region, including print, digital, branded content, programmatic, and events. The partnership will be overseen by Tom Armstrong, Vice President of Advertising for the New York. Wonder why your private health premiums seem to be constantly going up? Well, this offers no explanation whatsoever. Look, it's 10 marketing ideas from Apple, which we like to think is far superior to 20 marketing ideas from Microsoft. Influencers are the new powerhouses in driving stock off shelves, but brands are yet to find the right recipe for successful collaboration, according to Guillaume Darent of Gleam Futures at the Story Lab, pictured below. Here, he argues that marketers need to look beyond purely targeting an audience and channel their energy towards building long-term. In this guest post, Bronwyn van der Merwe, pictured below, Managing Director of Fjord Australia and New Zealand, part of Accenture Interactive, details the 4 traits of a living business, something she believes organizations have to become in order to transform successfully. The digital age has created a plethora of challenges for modern organizations. There's plenty to be had from openly pinching your competitors' data, writes this somewhat brave columnist. Is your Mondayitis so bad today your boss is lucky you even turned up at all? Find hope in these inspirational spots. In a submission lodged with the ACCC inquiry into digital platforms, industry body Free TV Today called for greater regulatory oversight of Facebook and Google. The Free TV submission identifies a number of key areas of concern: heavy regulation on traditional media providers and almost none on Facebook and Google, questionable claims about their reach, viewability. APN Outdoor has used its annual general meeting to announce 3 key contract renewals: Transport for Brisbane, Transdev Melbourne and Adelaide. Company CEO and Managing Director, James Warburton, said, "These contracts represent an important part of our advertising offering. The far-reaching impact they provide delivers a compelling proposition and cements our commitment. The only thing stopping MKR continues to prove and, like last month's, you'll probably ignore these too. It's the latest in our women in media profiles, and this one is so good you'll possibly get a nervous twitch somewhere."